Right, welcome guys. Predator Badlands. We've got the long-range box office forecast. Thought we'd take a look at it. It's interesting, actually. It's looking like it's going to be okay. Looking like it'll actually do alright. Who knows? I mean, this is all just box office pros forecasting. I will say this. A lot of the box office forecasting has either been pretty much bang on or wildly inaccurate. So this could go one or two ways. But it's still interesting, I think, nonetheless, to take a look at this stuff. Hit subscribe if you're new here. Turn the bell notifications on. Apparently, the final trailer for this is going to be dropping tomorrow, Monday, early this week. So that'll be interesting. And it is out very soon as well. So, yeah. Anyway, long-range forecast. November 7th, right? So Predator Badlands. The domestic opening weekend range is $35 to $45 million. Now, this had a production budget reported, we don't know, and they normally always underreport, of $100 million. Which for a film like this, I can sort of believe, I guess. I can sort of believe $100 million for a film like this. But as Box Office Pro says, the Predator franchise was revitalized in 2022 by 20th Century Studios. Hulu only released Prey, followed in summer 2025 by anthology animated film Predator Killer of Killers. Also a Hulu exclusive. Now, Dan Trachtenberg, director of Prey and co-director of Killer of Killers, because the animation studio was one of the directors, basically. The animators there. Brings the franchise back to the big screen, including PLF, with Predator Badlands, giving the series of a sci-fi bent by relocating its action to a remote planet. That Disney is giving Badlands a theatrical run bodes well, particularly after the success of fellow 20th Century Studios release Alien Romulus, which opened in mid-August to $42 million, and then went on to do $105.3 million. But it did, if I remember rightly, $400 million worldwide. I'll have to have a look at that in a minute, because that's worthwhile considering when we look at these numbers. So prior to Prey, the Predator franchise, which was last rebooted with director Shane Black's The Predator, released by a pre-Disney acquisition, 20th Century Fox, in mid-September 2018. The film received a mixed reception, opening to $24.6 million, and closing its domestic run with $51 million. Now, it's really important when we talk about these numbers in a minute, is $24.6 million was after The Predator had numerous issues, right? Like, numerous problems. It had numerous reshoots. The script got leaked. I did videos on it. Other people did videos on it, I believe, at the time. There was so much stuff coming out about that film. It was never going to do particularly well unless it was amazing. And it just flew in the face of everything that came out behind the scenes surrounding it, right? Obviously, that wasn't the case, and it was garbage. And it was all completely true, you know, what had come out surrounding the film, like all the leaks and stuff. So, yeah, it bombed. Like, that was a spectacular failure. I'm surprised it actually did as well as $51 million, but, you know, here's where we're at, I guess. They comment on some other bits and pieces, but I don't think they're wholly relevant when we're looking at this and analysing the data that they give. So they say this: looking outside 20th Century Studios' previous genre reboots or sequels to said reboots to come out of late October, early November, including Paramount's Terminator Dark Fate. That's not relevant either. Universal's Halloween. That's not relevant. And Exorcist Believer. None of those are relevant. But here's what they're expecting it to do. Just scroll through this. They don't have... Oh, do they have it there? My eye's not working. No, they don't think they do. No. Where is it? It was literally here not that long ago. What am I looking at? Okay, right. So they think... My brain. They think it's going to do $35 to $45 million. And there was another article that I saw. I think it was here, but I think they've changed their article somewhere along the line. So $45 million is what they domestic opening weekend, right? $35 to $45 million. So they think opening weekend, it will do what effectively what Alien Romulus did. And they're putting it on track to do a similar quantity of about $100+ million domestic. So, again, they've changed their article, which is really, really bloody annoying. Again, unless I'm completely missing it here, which I don't think I am. No, I'm not. I don't know where it is. It was here before, but it's not there now. Never mind. They think it's going to do about the $100+ million long range domestic. That's bloody frustrating. Never mind. But $45 million domestic isn't bad for an opening weekend. That's not bad at all for a movie which cost supposedly $100 million to make, which I can believe. And when we're going to compare all of this, it really is important to look at Alien Romulus. It's not comparable directly, but it gives us a bit of a gauge, I guess. Similar property, tied together a little bit of a crossover because of Weyland-Yutani being included with synthetics. There's reasoning behind using that as an analysis. The only thing that will play in this as a detriment will be Alien Earth's failure, because that was a disaster, which we'll get to further down the line when they release all the numbers. But $45 million domestic, not bad at all. They filmed this movie. There was a lot of this being filmed in New Zealand, which they would have got good tax breaks for. I'm dead certain it was in New Zealand, if I remember rightly. So $45 million domestic, opening weekend, long range forecast. I think it will do well. I think it will do a little bit more than that. But we'll have to see. We will have to see. Let's have a look, actually, at Alien Romulus, just so we can see what that did overall, because I think it was about $400 million. Now, if this movie does $400 million, I mean, that's mad. That'd be mad. Let's have a look. Alien Romulus, 41 point blah, 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 108.2 global cum. This was its opening weekend, I think. So doing like $100 million opening weekend globally, not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, okay. So, yeah. So, not horrendous. If Predator Badlands does about $100 million opening weekend worldwide, which I think it will probably do, I think it definitely has the potential to do that. I think there's a lot of interest in this movie. Way more than other films of late. I just think it has an inbuilt fan base that is pretty keen on watching it, quite frankly. I think we could say that that's a relative success. Difficult to say because, of course, 9 times out of 10 they underreport the budget. So $100 million is probably way more than that. But it will be at least a success by comparison to The Predator, right? And they must have thought it was good enough in terms of how they distributed Prey. They must have thought that they'd acquired enough of an interest to then go balls to the wall and make a movie and actually release it theatrically. So, yeah, there we go. Again, $45 million domestic, $100 million domestic long range. Even though it's not bloody here. It is where I read it somewhere else, but not here, annoyingly. So they're putting it on par, basically, with Alien Romulus, which isn't bad. If you're looking at it compared with The Predator, which was just a dramatic failure, it's looking double than that. But I would imagine if it's good, which there's a strong if, it will do more than that. It'll do more than $100 million domestic. If it does anywhere close to what Alien Romulus did, and goes on to do like $400+ million, I think you could say that's probably a success. I think you'd probably say that that's, yeah, that's a relative success. So there you go. Long range forecast, even though I can't get some of the numbers because apparently they've changed the article. But never mind. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. Bye now.